Welcome to Chokeholds and Chill, where the arm bars are tight and the conversations are deep.
We're Jenn and Mal, two women navigating life, mat burn, and the wild world of jiu-jitsu, one episode at a time.
From white belts to black, trauma to triumph, we bring you the real stories from the people who roll through it all.
So tighten your belt, take a breath, and let's get into it.
We absolutely love supporting brands that just freaking get it. So Mil Usos Skincare is built by a woman in the jiu-jitsu community for the jiu-jitsu community.
She knows the grind, the sweat, the tears, and the constant contact, how hard it is to keep your skin healthy when you live on the mat.
We are so proud to have Mil Usos as a sponsor and even prouder to use their products. If you train, you need this in your gym bag. We're recording.
Okay. Hey friends, welcome back to Chokeholds and Chill. Today's guest is someone whose name you've probably already seen on a few podiums. And if you haven't, you certainly will.
We're talking about the powerhouse that is Zoe Parris. She's a purple belt who's been rolling basically her whole life. Her dad owns the gym she grew up in, and you can feel that in the way she moves on the mat. She's sharp, she's grounded, and she is scrappy as hell.
She's got a background in high school wrestling, and she recently made the move to Atos. In 2025 alone, she's already walked away with silver at both Adult Worlds and Pans, a bronze at no-gi Pans, and gold medals all over the IBJJF Open circuit in both weight and open class. So it's no big deal.
No big deal. Honestly, Zoe's that rare mix of humble and hungry. She has so much drive, but she's like such a cool, chill girl. So in this episode, we're going to talk about what it's like growing up in a jiu-jitsu family, the mental and emotional transition from gym to gym, and how it feels to level up in the world stage spotlight as a young woman in the sport of jiu-jitsu.
Yes, we definitely decided that she is wise beyond her years. As a 20-year-old who's been training since she was 6, she has shown so much growth that I feel like I'm still working towards in my 30s.
Right?
So, hell yeah, Zoe, you're killing it.
She is. So this is one full of gold for the athletes, the parents raising the athletes, and anybody chasing the next version of themselves, both on and off the mat. Enjoy our conversation with my friend, Zoe Parris.
Woo.
Zoe, welcome to Chokeholds and Chill.
Welcome. We are so happy to have you.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, so I know that, so you and Jen have met.
Yes, ma'am.
I just met you via FaceTime before this call, so it's nice to be able to put a face to the name. I mean, I've totally creeped on you on social media.
I do talk about you like a small celebrity.
And yeah, for sure. She does talk about you like you're a celebrity, so I can't wait to chat with you and learn about life.
Yes, so what happened to your arm?
Yeah.
Currently, you're riding with a broken arm. I saw you doing some lifting and all kinds of shit with it. So what happened?
So I was just training in the gi, and it just got caught in somebody's pants. And my thumb got caught in someone's pants. It bent back and broke, but I'm only out for 4 weeks. So I'm just lifting weights, trying to keep my conditioning up. Hopefully going to be back for World's No-Gi.
Oh my gosh.
See?
That's terrible.
The same.
Thumb injuries are the worst. I thankfully did not suffer a thumb injury that bad. I didn't break my thumb, but I did partially sublux it when a new person decided to like body slam me when I had a Kimura grip.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so that was fun. But man, thankfully I just let it do its thing.
She's still trained. She's still trained.
No.
Don't let her act like she didn't really do anything.
It wasn't broken. So I was just like, all right, we're just gonna ride this out. And then I just suffered for a few months. But kudos to you for dealing with the
I mean, I thought I was gonna just ride it out, but it got to the point where I had to go get something. I had to get it X-rayed or something.
Yeah. Oh, that's the
God.
worst.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But kudos to you for keeping up with your strength and conditioning stuff, because injuries are really, really easy to give you an excuse to not do shit.
Well, you've done jiu-jitsu what, your entire life?
Yeah, just about. I started when I was 6.
Oh,
So
yeah.
How old
pretty
are you
much,
now?
I'm 20. I just turned 20.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so pretty much you grew up in a gym.
Yeah.
Can you just like tell us your earliest memories of training and, developing as through your childhood and like teenage years?
Yeah, for sure. So when I originally started, the number one thing I remember is the teenage girls who would train. And a lot of it was just fun. So I had my friends, we would play Minecraft and other games, usually during the adults class. And then we would watch the teenage girls train a lot. I didn't compete until I was 12. So my early days were more just fun, chill, something to do with my dad and my brother. Um, and then as I got older, I started to compete, like I said, when I turned 12. And then that's when I kind of knew that this was something that I wanted to do long term. And training became a lot more intense. I did it more often. And that kind of led me into the wrestling world. And yeah, so the beginning of my jiu-jitsu was just looking up to the girls that were older than me and then playing a lot of games.
So when you were younger, then primarily what training partners did you have? Was there a lot of other girls your age, or were you mostly training with boys?
So there was one girl my age and she had a twin brother. So oftentimes I would train with the two of them, but if they didn't come, I had to train with the boys. And then we had 2 teenage girls who were sisters who would help with our class. And they were pretty much the only girls in the gym. My mom would get on the mats from time to time, but other than the 4 of us, it was pretty much all boys to train with. And that really, it didn't bother me at all at that age because I grew up with a brother, a dad, so I was training with them so much. As I got older, and I realized that I could train with women, I really realized how much I prefer that. So like now I pretty much exclusively train with women.
Oh, wow. That's really nice, actually. You have a nice community of women to train with. Yeah. So, I mean, you obviously grew up with your dad as a coach and training partner and parent.
Yeah.
So, how did that shape you? Tell us about that dynamic.
I think it's definitely an interesting dynamic. I think that everyone has a different relationship with their parents as it is. So I don't think there's a one size fits all when we talk about this kind of dynamic. But for me and my dad, we are very similar. So we clash pretty often, which, pros and cons to that. But we started at the same time. So like my first day was his first day. Yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh.
so when we first started, it was more just like he would watch my class and I would stay and watch his class and then we'd go home. And then as I got older and he became more of a coach, I was probably like 13, 14 when he started being more of a coach role to me. And that's when we started to have some friction there because in my mind we had been equals until that point.
Right.
And he was my dad. So it was tough. At first, I was very resistant to any type of coaching he would give at all, just because, my way or the highway.
I totally get that.
Yeah, especially those early teen years. But we eventually developed to a point where when we opened the gym, our family's gym, I was about 15 and we were still under another coach at that time. So it was kind of easy for us to just say that we both had the same coach. But over the time that we had the gym, I think that I really realized that if I wanted to get better in the sport, I would have to put the emotion and the pride aside and just accept the coaching. And so now we're at more of a point where we coach together, but those years between like 15 and I'd say probably 18, it took a lot of like conscious effort to like put my ego aside and listen to what he had to say or really take the criticism.
That's a rough period of time as a teenage girl too. So
especially
for sure.
As a kid, I feel like as a child you absorb so much more than an adult does. So at some point, did you feel like you had an edge over your dad's jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there was times where he was working in sales most of the time when I was a lot younger, like the 6, 7, 8. So he was traveling pretty often. And so my mom would take me to the gym a lot. And so when I would train 3 to 4 days a week and he would only train 1 day a week, I would always feel like I had done more than him, so I would have a better understanding. Right. But we were in very different classes, different groups. But at the time, of course, I didn't understand that.
Right. Yeah. That's a hard place too, from a teenage perspective, is to be like, all of a sudden, like, wait a minute, we've been doing this together. What makes you the one to tell me how to do it now?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I can totally relate to that because like my older brother helped coach my softball team when I was in high school. And honestly, he's one of the best coaches like I've ever had, but because he was my brother, I fucking hated listening to him. I hated taking his input. And now, like, looking back, I'm like, Mallory, you're an idiot. You could have been, like, even better if you listened better. So, it's nice that you, it's obviously he wasn't my coach anymore after high school. So it's cool that you still have that with your dad and you have that, like, relationship as a parent and a coach, like, continuously evolving.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really feel like it's still kind of a struggle every day, but it has adapted so much over the last couple of years. I think it's brought us a lot closer too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What prompted you to branch out to Atos? Was it just for more training partners, different coaching aspect? I know obviously you have your sights set on winning it all. So what was the prompt for that?
So in 2024, I went to World's Gi at Blue Belt, and I did not do very well. I ended up losing in the first round, and it was not, I mean, I truly feel like during that match, even while I was fighting, I knew that I could win the match. But there was just something not there. It was maybe a confidence thing, or there was just missing aspects. And so my dad and we spent the rest of the week in Long Beach, and we were watching the black belts go, and we watched the finals. And the number one thing I noticed with the people that were from Atos was that their technique was so smooth and the coaching was so good. I also noticed it with AOJ. Yeah. But there is an Atos Atlanta. So when we came back, I knew that I wanted to try out new gyms just to get more training partners and to get a wider perspective. But once I tried out Atos and I spent a couple days with Bruno Frazado, who's the professor there, I just kind of knew that's where I wanted to be. I already had some friends there who have been pretty successful in the sport. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like Alex Enriquez, and I really wanted to train with her. So once I had spent like a week there, I kind of knew that's where I wanted to end up. And I ended up doing the summer. And then after the summer, I was like, yeah, I want to be here full time. So now I pretty much have my training block in the morning to be at Atos. And then at night, I'll train at my family's gym and help coach the kids class and things like that.
That's awesome. So you just like live and breathe jiu-jitsu.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
How are the kids' classes? How's coaching the kids?
I mean, it has good days. It has bad days. There's definitely some days where I do not want to coach the kids' class. Right. But I can't imagine my life without a kids' jiu-jitsu class. I've always either been part of it or coaching it. so it's just kind of become something that I've always done.
Yeah.
Which I think is helpful, because if I knew a life without it, I don't know if I would be so enthusiastic about it. But
Yeah.
I really love our group. Like, we have a lot of really good kids. I'm really grateful for our parents. We very rarely end up with conflicts or kind of, for lack of a better term, bratty kids. We usually have a good class, and so I enjoy it.
That's good.
Do you feel like coming through the kids program and then becoming the kids coach has really helped you understand what they need to improve and a good level of what they can handle at certain ages?
Yeah, absolutely. I think more than anything, it gives me a lot of sympathy, because I know what it feels like to be like taught jujitsu at that age. And I understand why they don't always understand. When I was a kid, I was I don't know if I should say worried about what people think, but I didn't want to let anyone down. So if I didn't understand if I didn't understand the technique, it really bothered me. So I think I connect best with the kids who are more like that. And I do think it helps me to kind of level with them and get them further progressing, maybe a little bit faster than they would with someone who doesn't understand that as well.
Right.
So as a coach and a competitor, and like we said, living and breathing jiu-jitsu, how do you balance everything? And, obviously how many hours a day are you spending in a gym?
Yeah. So this is something where I've had to actually do a lot of discovery in recently. So I'm glad that we're talking about it. I think I probably spend anywhere between 6 and 8 hours in a gym a day. As far as actual training, I'm not sure how much of that would be training. It kind of depends on the day. But being at Atos has helped with that so much, because it's a different environment, a different atmosphere. So going from gym to gym makes it a little bit easier. And then I try to keep some form of creativity in my life. So right now I'm kind of focused more on photography and video editing and things like that.
That's cool.
But when I don't always have access to that. So I try to tap more into like my artistic side. I enjoy painting. I enjoy drawing, things like that. And so that kind of helps me just to understand that there is more to life. And when I feel like I'm getting too far into the jiu-jitsu world, sometimes I like to step back, and I do a lot of hiking, and that really brings me back to the balance. And then I'm also in school. So I'll try to put more of a focus into my courses. And that's another thing that just makes it more like, okay, jiu-jitsu is not the end all. There's still more to life. And that just helps me kind of avoid that burnout feeling.
Right. So you also compete a shit ton in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And travel for competition.
Yeah.
Are you also cutting for comp, or do you pretty much stay on weight since you're competing so much?
I always plan to stay on weight, but pretty often I have to cut.
Yeah. Story of a woman's life.
Yeah, I really, really try, but it kind of depends. I do middleweight sometimes, I do medium heavy sometimes, and a lot of it just depends on how disciplined I am at home. And but usually, no matter what weight I go to, I have to cut at least a couple pounds.
Yeah.
Which is not fun during the traveling.
No, because traveling makes everything so much more difficult. Like, all the food available is salty. Everything is like fast food, like preserved. So hard.
Yeah. Before we go dive more into your competition life, I want to rewind, and can I ask you what you were going to school for?
Yeah. So I am a marketing major right now. And I kind of just plan on taking over my family's gym. So I wanted to just go and get a business idea.
Brilliant.
But it is something that I'm very open-minded with. So I'm always kind of looking for maybe careers I'd switch to, or things I can do with also having the gym. So right now, I'm kind of just going to school more to discover what I like and how I learn. And I'm kind of taking the slow route through it, honestly. I'm not taking a bunch of classes. I don't do summer courses or anything. So it's kind of just something to keep my mind active and give me something to focus on and work towards.
I think that's so important, and I love that you're doing that.
I also love that you guys as a generation, I'm going to throw my old in here, but like when I was your age, I didn't have, like, I spent 8 hours a day dancing. I was in the dance room. I was literally doing similar things to you and life and all of that. I had kids at the time, very young, but your generation can say like, no, I'm going to take this slow. I don't want to do this all at once. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to figure out what I want. And when I was coming up, it was like, if you don't have a plan and you don't follow that plan, you're kind of fucked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Dude, even
we have to decide so young.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of fucked now.
Yeah. Even like my generation. Yeah. I'm a generation ahead of you. We're like 3 different generations.
Carry on. Just kidding. But.
No, but like in my generation, you know, how are people expected at 18 to know what they want to do with the rest of their lives? You're like forced to go, like dive into, that was the norm, like dive into 4 years of school. Like I wish that I like took more time to have more life experience and explore what I actually wanted. And it sounds like that's what you're doing. And I'm
so happy for
I
you.
love that for you.
Thank you.
I love that for you a lot. So, and it's like allowing you, the path that you're taking is allowing you to pursue being the best jiu-jitsu athlete you can be.
Or just whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
It's so badass.
Yeah.
I'm just so impressed with you guys. Like, I just love talking to younger people right now.
Yeah. So let's talk more about your competitions, because you've medaled in quite a few comps. So tell us more. Talk
about this year's comp season. You're a purple belt right now?
Yeah. So I got my purple belt in June 2024, so right before I switched to Atos. And the first major that I did at purple belt was Pans no-gi last year. And in the first round, I was able to win the match, but I tore my MCO. So then I went and I still did my semifinal, but it was very difficult. I hadn't really developed my guard game yet, but I couldn't play on top because of the instability in my knee.
Right.
And so I ended up playing bottom, and I did well. I only lost by 1 advantage, but I still got third. And so that I had to take a lot of weeks off between Pans no-gi and my next tournament. I think my next tournament wasn't till March 2025. Oh, wow. And it was difficult because it was my first major injury that made me sit out. All the years I wrestled or did jiu-jitsu as a kid, or even the other sports I played, I'd had minor injuries, but I'd never had something where I could not train at all. And so I didn't really know what to do with myself. Yeah. My semester had ended for school. So I was kind of just lost. And so I ended up studying a lot. I watched a lot of video. Of myself. And then so when I came back for the gi season, I was able to get second in Pans gi and in gi worlds.
Hell yeah.
And I think, and both of those, I felt like I did very well at both those tournaments. Those are probably 2 of my favorite tournaments. Of course, the goal is always to get first, but both of those tournaments this year, I felt so much confidence, and I felt so smooth in my game, and I was so prepared to be there.
That's a good spot to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's kind of the feeling that I chase. And I truly feel like when I can accomplish that feeling 100% of my tournaments, then that's why I'm going to find the most success.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so after gi pans, I actually tore my labrum in my shoulder. God. So I was very frustrated. I was like, wow, I'm never going to do a pans again.
That sucks.
Yeah, so I didn't compete between Pans and Worlds. And then after Worlds over summer, I did a lot of PT. And now getting back into no-gi season, I've been trying to, of course, avoid all those injuries. And So I think that this breaking my thumb thing is good in some ways because it's letting the rest of my body rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I went and I did jiu-jitsu con, which I didn't do great at, but it kind of goes back to that. I wasn't very confident. I didn't feel like I really deserved to be there. And so I think my biggest challenge is getting myself to the headspace where I feel like, okay, I've put the work in. I deserve to be here. Today's my day. That type of just positive mantras.
Yeah.
I saw one of your no-gi matches at Jiu-Jitsu Con. And what I saw was you seemed frustrated. You were just coming at her with everything, and she was just like not having it. You guys would barely step off the boundary line on the mat, and they would just call it and like start you guys over. And I was like, oh my God, she's just about to pin. Like, it was so frustrating to watch too. So I imagine that was like annoying.
Yeah. No, Jiu-Jitsu Con as a whole was, it was aggravating, especially that match that you're talking about was pretty frustrating. And I had not been super disciplined with my weight. We were out of camp. So the morning of no gi, I did better in the gi, but the morning of no gi, I had to cut a lot of weight before that match. So yeah, so I had already been pretty frustrated, and then I was not happy during that match. So it was definitely a learning tournament, and I'm beyond grateful for it. And it was fun, of course, because it's Jiu-Jitsu Con.
Right. But, it's always great to be in there.
Yeah, but that match specifically, was very frustrating.
Yeah.
But I really think that when we have stuff like that, it's just it's almost like ourselves trying to tell us, like, I can be better than this. I can be better than this. And it's since then I've really tried to dial in and focus on staying calm in matches, because we do get so caught up sometimes in the emotion of it that it's like you're just fighting blind.
Yeah. Which doesn't serve any purpose, right? The whole reason we train is to not fight blind.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like Purple Belt has like a reputation for being kind of like the tough years for, like, I've heard a lot of Purple Belt stories, and I mean, now I'm experiencing all the fun Purple Belt things.
I hated mine.
But I've also heard from a lot of people that it's the most fun belt.
Right.
So hopefully you're getting through, like, you're getting ready to get to the more fun part away from all these injuries, but you're still having fun.
Brown belt's better.
But what do you feel like has been the biggest challenge through all of this, and what's been your biggest takeaway through your Purple Belt journey so far?
I feel like the biggest challenge has just been like getting myself to the point where I feel like I deserve to be here. And it's very strange because I have been in the sport for so long. But I hold myself to a high standard. And so I think sometimes I can get too caught up in that.
Yeah.
And that's more of like a internal struggle. I think that honestly, I don't feel like the opponents are super different from what they were at Blue Belt. I think overall the technique is better, of course, but I really feel like the biggest challenge for me at Purple so far has been internal.
Yeah.
And then also trying to work through the injuries and get through these fight camps has just been like, it's been tough for sure, but I have had a ton of fun at Purple Belt. I've had most of my success has been at Purple compared to my whole jiu-jitsu career.
Yeah.
So I'm really enjoying it. Of course, looking forward to Brown Belt too. I'm glad to hear it gets better.
Yeah.
But
I was injured and it's still better.
Yeah. You guys will have to keep me posted.
It's like a little like the next thing like unlocks, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is easier than it was before.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting to hear.
It's exciting, you guys. And then I know it gets harder again. So I'm just riding this ride of like, it's not so bad at the moment, even though I can barely walk today.
Oh, God.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. But Zoe, I have rolled with you and you're great. You're like one of my favorite. I think that's why like I'm always like, oh, she's so good, because you gave me a really hard time. And a lot of people don't give me that difficult a time, whether it be because I'm a smaller person and they think I can't handle it, or because they don't know jiu-jitsu as well as they think they do. But when I rolled with you, I was like, oh shit. Like,
you were the first person she told me about after that hero camp.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
Yeah. So she was like, oh my gosh, this girl, we got to have her on the pod. She's a badass, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, sick, let's do it. And here we are.
Yeah.
No, it's so cool though. And I love all this. I love what you're doing. So let's get into more.
Let's talk a little bit about your training at Atos and what's different there from your gym, your parents' gym.
So honestly, the biggest difference is the style of teaching and just the layout of the classes, which my gym is great. I love all my people. The niche that we really shoot for in the area that we're in is families. So we get a lot of younger kids and we get a lot of parents.
Yeah.
And the people that I compete against are just not in that stage of life. They're usually younger, more athletic, in the adult age group, of course. They're training a lot.
Right.
So I had to find somewhere that could offer me that type of competitive push. And then also I really was desiring a better understanding of technique. Like, I wanted to know the details. I wanted to know why we didn't do certain things. And I really wanted to know the smaller aspects of stuff.
Yeah.
And Frazado is great. He explains everything he does intuitively. He pays a lot of attention to detail. Arguably a perfectionist. He's very hands-on. He's focused. He understands the students very well.
That's cool.
And I think, and since I've been there, I've just seen so much growth. And the other thing that it gives me is it just gives me a lot of competitive women. And that's not something that we have at my gym. Of course, it's something that I would want to build on, especially when I start to take more of an ownership role. But for right now, it's just something we don't have. So Atos just gives me the space to be competitive and train hard without worrying about students and their well-being and teaching. So it gives me a space to kind of focus on myself, and then also train with partners who are more realistic, that female adult age, or that more athleticism. Yeah. So it just gives me that good space. And, and of course, like I said, I love my gym and I love all my people, and they definitely push me too, but having both has just done me so much better over the last year.
Yeah. And like, it sounds like, so you said you got your purple belt before you started going to Atos, and hearing you talk about like the biggest challenge being feeling like you don't belong, or, feeling like you deserve to be there. I feel like you're describing perfectly imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Right. So you move to this gym that's, more highly competitive. It challenges you a bit more in that space. And then on top of that, you're joining women that have been training in that environment.
Yes.
So do you feel like being a newer purple belt and then jumping into a different environment, do you feel like that contributed to some of that imposter syndrome that sounds like you were experiencing?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the first time I competed with Frazado, I definitely was very worried about doing things right. We had done, I think it was like the first week I was there, we did ADCC Orlando.
Oh.
And at that time, I just went out and competed. Like, I wasn't worried about anything, but I ended up taking a couple weeks off after that to kind of let my mind rest and body rest. And so the next time I competed with him, I kind of consider that one to be the first time, because we had been together for a couple weeks at that point. It was the Atlanta Open, IBJJF. And I ended up getting double gold, but the way he talked to me after and the way he explained what I had done wrong, even though I won, it was kind of something new for me, because I had coaches that had done that before, but not to that extreme. And then I kind of found that as much as it did help me and as much as I did learn from it, it made me very worried about doing things the wrong way.
Okay.
So I would almost not try. like when I would compete after that, I would almost not try to go for things because I didn't want to do things incorrectly.
Mm-hmm. So you almost went to doing it not at all.
Yeah. So that became kind of a hurdle that I had to overcome because, you know, obviously that's much worse than doing it wrong is not trying at all.
Yeah. Where are you sitting with that right now? How are you feeling? Are you over that, do you feel like? Or are you still working through that?
Oh, I'm definitely still working through it, especially for no gi.
Mm-hmm.
I think that in the gi, I'm a lot more comfortable. I didn't train any no gi until I was probably 13.
Yeah.
So most of my roots are in the gi.
Mm-hmm.
So I put the gi on, and I feel a lot more confident. Even if I do something wrong, I feel like I can always still work through it.
Yeah.
But for no gi, I definitely it's more of a challenge, especially when we talk about more advanced techniques in no gi.
Yeah.
But it's something I'm working through, but I've made so much progress on it. Like I'm sitting with it so much better now than I was, you know, even a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's promising.
Yeah, that's great. Mm-hmm. I feel like probably having some time off with your injuries is a good time. It's always a good time to work on your mindset.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you're doing that. So like looking forward, what is the next, you know, few months look like for you? What's your next big event? What's going on in that aspect of your life?
Yeah. So I get my cast off November 20th. And then so on that day they're gonna re-x-ray my hand. And then depending on how that goes, my next big event could be World's No-Gi. But there's a chance that I won't be able to do it still.
When is that?
I believe it's December 11th.
Okay,
is the first day. Yeah. Okay. So I'll have about 2.5 weeks to train, assuming all goes well, which hopefully. Yeah. If not, then my next big event will most likely be Pan's Gi. And so I'll just season kind of similar like how I had to do last year after Pan's No Gi. Yeah. I just had to switch the focus to the gi. Yeah. But as far as right now, I'm planning to do World's No-Gi, so I've been really focusing on conditioning, trying to get my body as strong as I can, doing PT on some other former injuries, and just getting my mindset as ready as I can.
Hell yeah. That's freaking rad. What would you say keeps you grounded for, you know, especially when these comps are coming up? And now that you have that added pressure of a new coach, how do you stay level-headed during this pressure? What brings you back?
I think it's just kind of the same thing we talked about with the burnout. Like you just have to remember that there's so much more to life than just this. And I don't know how you guys are with wrestling and the Olympics and stuff, but there's a pretty popular wrestler, Amy Allure, right now. And she had said in one of her posts, and this really got to me, she had said that no matter how far she got in wrestling, her mom would always tell her, if you don't want to do it anymore, you can quit. Yeah. And so that's something that when I really start to feel tired or burnt out, I just say to myself, if I don't want to do it, I can quit. And that usually always brings me back to, that's the last thing I want to do. Yeah. Like I want to be doing this. I want to be successful in this.
Yeah. Just giving yourself permission to take time instead of giving it all up.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what is a piece of advice that you would give to yourself, 3-4 years ago?
I think I would say that if you don't like an environment, then you need to look for ways to get out of it. I think I spent too much time kind of just tolerating things or dealing with things that I didn't necessarily have to either keep peace around me or just because I was not confident enough to move out of those things. Yeah. But there was so many things around me, so many resources around me that could have not even just enhanced my jiu-jitsu, but just made my life more enjoyable. So I think I would just tell her, like, if you don't like something, you don't have to sit and tolerate it. You're allowed to have a voice.
Yeah. I love that you've taken that away from this. I feel like we talk a lot about how jiu-jitsu really facilitates growth in so many areas, like mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, whatever. And I feel like me in my 30s, I have like matured and grown through so much. So it's like, you're 20. I feel like you are wise beyond your years. So I love that this is like how you have grown up and how it's helped you develop and everything. And I love the path that you're on. And I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
I'm excited to keep, following your jiu-jitsu career and, seeing what's in the future for you. So we love to close out with some rapid fire questions. Are you down?
Yes. Okay.
All right. We'll start easy. Gi or no gi?
Gi for sure. If I had to give one up, I would give up no gi. I love no gi, but the gi is where my roots are.
Yeah. What's your favorite position to play from in the gi?
Man, I will have to say, I'm thinking probably right now is probably K guard.
Oh, fun.
Oh, nice.
That is not pretty for me.
It's not super pretty for me either, but it's just been fun right now.
Yeah, cool. That is awesome. That's awesome. What is your go-to post-competition meal?
More times than not, it's some form of Mexican food.
Nice.
But yeah, it changes up, but most of the time it's specifically Chewy's, if you guys have been there.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
What is your like pre-competition ritual? Like for the hour before you compete, what are you doing?
I listen to a couple songs. One of them is Crank That Soulja Boy.
Hell yeah.
and it makes me feel good. I like to listen to songs that make me want to dance, especially like if I listen to the songs that we danced to in middle school, high school, that gets me, because it makes it fun.
Yeah, I love that.
And I usually do like a long time of stretching, and then right before the match I like to jump around and get my blood flowing.
Yeah. Well, that kind of leads good into my next question. If you had a super fight tomorrow, what would your walkout song be?
Man, if I had one tomorrow, maybe, man, I don't know. I have so many in my head.
I know, it's a tough question.
It is. My last walkout song was Gangster's Paradise, and I really felt like that just set the vibe so good.
I said, wise beyond your years. Come on.
I think I might have to reuse that one.
If Gangster's Paradise was at your middle school dance, that's great.
That is so awesome. I love it.
Oh, man.
All right. The question we love to ask everybody is, if your best friend had to describe you in 3 words, what would those 3 words be?
Oh my. I think I have a couple people that come to mind. I think I'm gonna choose my brother for this one. We're probably the closest.
Awesome.
I think he would probably say insane for just to be kind.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he would say passionate. And then I'm kind of between a couple words here. I think the last one he'd probably pick would be resilient.
I love that.
That's great.
Your brother is so kind for saying those words.
Yeah. I'm not gonna fact check with him. I'm just gonna believe.
I'm just gonna go with it.
We'll follow up. We'll follow up. I'm gonna find him online, creep on him, and then message him. Tell me the 3 words.
I think he's still a kid.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
he's
weird. 17.
He's a child.
All right, I will message him in a couple years. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. Well, anyways, we appreciate you coming on the pod so much. I hope that I get to meet you in person and have you destroy me with your K-guard.
Yes, queen.
In the future. Where can people find you? Tell us, where can people find you, follow you, see what's going on?
Yeah, so my Instagram is just Zoe E. Parris. So ZoeEParris. And I'm pretty active on Instagram. All my socials have that same handle. So if you want to find me on TikTok, YouTube, any of that's all the same. And then my family's gym is Riverstone Jiu-Jitsu. Mm-hmm. So if you want to give that a follow, that's also a great way to kind of just keep up with me, but also keep up with my family. My siblings are both coming up in the sport too, so they have pretty interesting stuff going on. And my dad is the coach, so we've got a lot going on. It's definitely fun to keep up with. We try to make a lot of funny, entertaining content. So
that's awesome.
I agree with that.
Check us out.
Fun.
All right, yeah, I'll have to go hit the follow button on your family gym.
Most definitely. Well, thank you for chatting with us today. Yeah, great to catch up, and I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, thank you guys.
So thank you from the Chokeholds and Chill fam. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Check us out on Instagram at chokeholdsandchillpod or shoot us a message at chokeholdsandchillpod@gmail.com.